to see whether he's needed to be called back to defence at some stage this afternoon. Given Barris is not playing, it is a brave call in some ways.
Yeah, that's right. Well, they can throw him behind the ball as well at times. So they can match up down back and then use him to go back as the spare from forward as well if they do get under some sort of pressure and St Kilda kick multiple goals in a row.
Well, Saints are pretty tall forward, like.
Yeah, but I like it from a West Coast perspective and Adam Simpson. They're being aggressive. They're trying to win the game, not save it or stop St Kilda.
The Eagles almost gave away a free at the start there. They had 5 in the square. The umpire giving Sheed a bit of latitude. So this is a big game from Etihad Stadium. And Drew Petrie carrying the ruckload up against Longer as they climb on in. And Webster, Savage, and now they can work it all over back to Carlisle. Nunes might have to rectify the smother. Carlisle tries to go and clean up his own work. He can't really, as Hearn thumps it in. Darling was red hot early last week against Brisbane, and that one gets away from him and it's over the line and out of bounds.
Yeah, Dylan Robertson with the job on Jack Darling.
And that's what it does as well, with McGovern being the third tall down there. It makes Robertson have to go and play on a direct opponent, not be able to get off, play his natural game of intercept, and then use his skills coming out.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Nathan Brown matches up on Josh Kennedy.
And what a battle that could be. Oh, Webster, big swing and a miss. A soccer, a goal. McGovern showing that versatility that Moons talked about, doing the ruck work and kicking the goal.
Well, the great thing about Jeremy McGovern is he's like another on-baller. Once the ball hits the deck, you're not going to see too many ruckmen capable of doing something like this, pulling the jumper to affect the tackle and then socking the ball off the ground. What a great start.
Yeah, look, he keeps his feet. 3 players around him, 2 St Kilda go to ground. Great play by McGovern.
Thank you.
That's a brilliant goal,
isn't it?
Well, the great thing, we see a lot of football clubs now before warm-ups play with the soccer ball. See a lot of players kicking the soccer ball around. That's why, just so they can do little skills like that.
Longer over the top. Takes it down to their feet. There's Shuey. They've come out with a real earnest start this time, the Eagles. Saints need to get their hands on the footy, and that might help. Dunstan, who had a pretty decent game last week, takes it quickly, moves it in haste. Opportunity to wrestle for Membry.
She did well, Elliot Yeo. And this is one of the offshoots of McGovern playing on ball as well. It means Elliot Yeo has to play in defence. He's playing on Membry, and Membry's making him play fullback at the moment.
You talk about versatile players. Elliot Yeo certainly fits that bill, doesn't he?
He's had an excellent year as well, Elliot Yeo.
Sheed. Oh, forced back. There was an element of danger in that kick. Hearn looking to get things moving out on the city side of Etihad Stadium. Gets there via McKenzie.
Oh, Jack! Thanks, Jack. You're right there.
Control. Duggan. Onto that left boot. Driving ball for Petrie. Oh, he saw where the drop was, but then fell over himself. Robertson, with Darling in close quarters, controlled it for Geary. And the Saints looking just to monopolise possession. Jack Stephen, driving kick. Gresham had the edge, just couldn't quite preserve it against Shepherd, who closed well. So opening goal to the West Coast Eagles. Both sides desperate for the 4 points today. Certainly hard to see St Kilda making it if they lose. Almost impossible. Alan Richardson did say during the week they could lose and still make it. 12 wins, but with a low percentage, even if they won their last 3 games, it may not be enough to get you in. Hutchings jamming it on the boot. And here is McGovern as they pick their way through. Marston back in the team. Just settled, wanted to enhance his own position by using the help of Lacroix. All he did was set himself up for the fall.
Yeah, Lacroix there, he received on his left leg, so didn't have the confidence to launch it from there. He had to come around onto his right and receive the ball so he could get some momentum through and have a shot from about 55.
Billings challenging kick out wide. Steele did what he needed to do. Geary's kick is shut down. McGovern's everywhere at the moment. Hutchings scrounges it inside. Brown took front position, and here's Kennedy. Flicks the handball out. Sheed. That was a little rushed.
He actually be confident, Kennedy. If the ball's coming on the ground, one-on-one, him and Brown, I reckon he'd be confident that he can get the job done consistently, because Brown's just agility isn't as strong as what it used to be.
Sheed in outstanding form last week with 29 disposals, well above his average of 23 per game. Of course, Josh Kennedy just here a couple of weeks ago bagged 6 goals. He's on 499 goals, Josh Kennedy. Jack Stephen powers along. He's got a couple of bounces. Now Weller has burst into the 50 to give him something else, but the kick did not arrive. Certainly not in the fashion he would have hoped. But it's a Saints free to Gresham. Big, deep kick from the handoff, and they'd love to some straight kicks to start things given their season. Billings' shot from long range misses. He's certainly been one of the offenders at times this year, with 17 goals, 27 to his name now. Saints have got another chance through Savage.
It's a good one-on-one win from Savage over McGovern too. I'm not sure if that matchup's going to last.
No, Carlisle's had the responsibility early on, so McGovern's going to make him defend, but Carlisle has to still be smart in his positioning. He's trying to push forward at the moment.
Ross with a low ball, and Membry couldn't help but take the mark. Superb kick. And he's right in front, and big opportunity for the Saints here. 29 goals from 16 games this year. Last year, 44 goals from 17 games, so certainly hasn't had as good a year. "29 goals, 12. He's been one of the few Saints who has been accurate in front of goal. Kicked 3 straight last week and makes no mistake here. The Saints answer and draw level.
Watched plenty of Tim Membry in the warm-up. It's fun to watch him practice his kicking. He does everything so simply, so effectively and so correctly. He runs in a very straight line. He kicks through the ball. He's got a very efficient ball drop. He gives himself the absolute greatest margin for error. That's why he's one of the best kicks in the competition.
And the kick he received then as well was low and hard. So he got there quickly and didn't allow West Coast to come in to spoil.
We talked about their lack of accuracy this year. Tim Membry at least can hold his head high. Some of the smaller players in particular have struggled in front of goal, as we can see by those numbers. Scores level. So bright start really from both sides. Stevens gets them started again. Lovely leap from Billings onto that left boot. Keeps it low, channels it right to Bruce. This is a fine start now by St Kilda. 2 of their big 3 forwards getting opportunities to kick shots for goal from directly in front.
And both times they've been able to hit targets, it's been leading up the corridor, turning back inside, which is a fantastic position to actually be having your shots for goal from.
Feels like they've been instructed, this midfield, Jace, just to really honour these leads. You've got 3 leading tall forwards. You've got to honour them. Beautiful kicks inside 50.
Expect him to kick it on those numbers.
Yeah. Good solid confidence from there. Maybe not so from last week, where he kicked 3 behinds. Plum in front. Josh Bruce perfectly aligned. Straight through. Couple of quick goals to the Saints here at Etihad.
Yeah, straight out of the middle, and Moons absolutely nailed that with just the use here. Instead of coming out of the position and bombing it, Billings gets the ball here, turns onto that left leg, and Bruce knew exactly where his teammate was going to kick the ball.
Well, you just don't want to bomb against West Coast. No. That's their specialty.
Well, if they do, they've got to get the ball to ground, St Kilda. Give their smalls some sort of opportunity when that does occur. You just can't allow West Coast to take those intercept marks today.
Great start for Josh Bruce and Tim Membry up forward. Longer wins the tap conclusively. Mitchell was scrounging for it. Redden, better game last week, went to ground there. And again, he's interrupted in the flow. Weller, Savage, Partington chasing after him. High ball to half forward. Oh, McKenzie almost. Here's Nelson. Loves to run and take the footy with him. He can on this occasion. As the Eagles control it with good effect. Petrie provides the path out. And along the line for Lacroix. Just got away from him, Webster, but Lacroix kept his feet. Webster didn't. Carlisle came to provide some much-needed assistance. Sinclair's having a pretty solid season for the Saints. Really locked his place away in the team. Here's Membry getting up the ground. Revolt-like. Takes the mark just in front of the wing and then wobbles a kick, which was affected in flight. Ross. Duggan did well.
Saints are linking up well off half-back. They're winning the ball back there, and they're getting some good run and drive through the logos here at Etihad Stadium. So they need to make sure that continues on this afternoon. Four-quarter effort required.
Free kick, as you can hear, to Luke Shuey.
Yeah, that one against Jack Steele for holding.
Last week, 27 disposals, 3 goal assists he had, and 9 score involvements. We know Luke Shuey is pivotal to the Eagles. So Kennedy well up the ground, the prolific Gaff now, as they work it along the line. Hutchings, deep kick, set up for Sheed to run and jump, but he couldn't get past the sturdy Dylan Robertson. Played plenty of footy in Western Australia, of course, for Fremantle, but has really blossomed, particularly in the last couple of years with the Saints. And here's Nick Revolt. Man who's taken more marks than anyone else. Takes his first of the day. Nunes. Carpety standing the mark. Just hesitating a fraction, but he always had the bail out with a short option to Robertson. Not afraid to kick it through the defensive arc. Well, the umpire blew the whistle a little bit prematurely there, as it turned out. Dunstan not causing too much damage. Savage and now Ross.
I love the aggressive kicks into the corridor early from the Saints.
That's right.
Well, we know what they're playing for, and they have to go hard for it. No use going out with a whimper. Dunstan. So it's just piecing it together here. Barely the required distance. Dunstan confronted by 2 Eagles and kicks it into one of them, Liam Duggan, and then regrets it immediately.
Finding the ball, Dunstan, he dropped the mark at centre-half back. Kick smothered on that occasion, although closed up. Just need to get more effect from the type of ball that he receives.
Petrie and Longer again. Red losing his footing and knew it. Cody Stevens paying close attention, too close to Andrew Gaff. 30 disposals last week, one below his average for the year of 31. Huge ball winner is Andrew Gaff. Here's Redden. Now LaCroix. Sheed was trying to run with him. Too smart for Sinclair. Got around and good kick too for Carpenter. The Saints on the job right now. Excellent spoil by White. Hutchings to Partington towards full forward. Anything can happen with the bounce of the ball. Jack Darling trying to contain it, but Nick Revolt lays a big tackle, which goes unrewarded, but it'll help the Saints nonetheless. Carlisle sending them on the path. Stevens as they bolt through the middle. Dunstan goes for the one-on-one. Membry knew where it was going just before Shepherd. He's a beat ahead, but Shepherd closed that smartly. Well done. And takes it over the line and is not penalised. Not showing enough intent to keep the ball play. Remember those days?
Well, it started there. Great tackle from Revolt, but Carlisle's kick straight down the middle was sensational under pressure, and that set up that movement forward.
Dylan Robertson with 6 early disposals. Hutchings with 5 for the West Coast Eagles. Petrie tackling everyone in sight, not just his opponent, but his teammate there in Brad Shepherd. Big Drew throwing his weight around. They lock it in tight. Petrie's kick smothered that time. Elliot Yeo providing the backup. Carlisle matched up against Darling. Hardington did well, despite the protest of the crowd. Now Geary drives it fairly aimlessly inside 50, and Elliot Yeo's on the job. Although his handball was a little ragged. Got an extra stat as a result. And has Marston fumbling on the wing, and he's about to be captured. Now, how does the umpire read this? Holding the ball. They almost ignore the boundary line sometimes, the umpires, on those decisions. Tackle started before the line, but was completed over it. Good reward, though, for Blake Akers. Goes for Revolt. That's going to crunch from behind. McKenzie held his ground. And again, the boundary line a factor. And again,
Oh, that one was...
That's red hot.
Don't know where the prior was there for Liam Duggan. But they're aggressive, the Saints.
They are. Nunes wheeling around. It's touch, so it's no mark anyway. Red and Steele rode him close to into the ground, but an unwhistle. Gaff. Again, they control it. Duggan trying to be careful with the handball. Sheed They build. Darling, they're right up the ground, bar this man, Lacroix, who's in the picture now. There's no one between him and the goals. Got a teammate inside, didn't see him. It was Partington. It may not matter. The bounce, the beautiful bounce.
I'm absolutely thrilled for Mark Lacroix that went through.
I was going to run on the ground and yell at him.
Luke Partington started on the back of the square and sprinted. He did a 100-metre sprint towards the goal square because he could see the play unfolding. Oh, he had to kick the goal because otherwise it would have been a horrific torching of a teammate. It's a good finish in the end. Got to make him count, and he did.
He's shown an act through his career of finding the goals. That was an interesting path. 403 for Mark Lacroix, and levels up the score here at Etihad Stadium. Saints, though, right in this. They are losing the clearances. They won that one, but they've been forced to retreat all the way back to Carlisle. And then Nunes provides a way out. Pushing right up the ground. Just skies it high. And not something you really want to do against the Eagles, as we've said. Elio takes the mark. Read it well in flight. Redden. Sheed. Timing was perfect on the handball for Shuey. Had a run up. And now Kennedy has taken the mark and can line up for goal number 500.
Jack Steele's got the responsibility, by the looks of things, on Luke Shuey today, but he just timed his run perfectly. Then Shuey got to the outside. Steele went one way, he went the other, and then he was able to get enough space to effect an excellent kick inside forward 50 to this man here, going for goal number 50 on the season as well.
Yes, a double milestone. He's certainly still in the hunt for the Coleman medal. Kicking more goals per game than anyone else, but this for 500 goals. Maybe the moment was too much for him, Jono. I don't think so with Josh Kennedy. He's pretty cool normally, but it's a big miss just in terms of the game. He wouldn't have missed too many from there in his time. So, it's an excellent contest. Who do you feel is on top, boys? Could you name a team?
No, I don't think. I think it's very evenly balanced. It's just what we wanted for a start of a match, I think.
Plenty of Saints represented in the air that time. Both Billings and Akers, and now Dunstan scouting the pack with good effect, but seems a little uncertain about how to go forward. Robertson helps him out. Bruce! Oh! Gee, we've seen a couple of big leaps in this round of footy that hasn't quite got the job done, unfortunately, Jono.
Oh, that was massive.
That's
absolutely huge.
Oh, boy. Webster to full forward. Almost Akers. Kicked a critical goal for them last week on three-quarter time. Steele had to take on 3 or 4. If they can lock it away here, it won't be the worst result.
Let's have a look at this. The perfect set. All he didn't do was hang on to it, unfortunately. A hanger gone begging.
McGovern doing the ruck work successfully down to Sheed. Sinclair versus Carpenty. McKenzie's timing was perfect. But Carlisle battering hard the other way. Released the hand. Good slick stuff too. Billings has another miss. Tough one, mate. Saints 2-2-14. Scores a level. He did the hard work.
Oh, it was the perfect leap. He had it there.
Marston held him up well too. He didn't just crumble underneath him.
McGovern, good clout on the kick.
They are out and gone.
Marston, and now Shuey. Kennedy, will he double? Will he double back? No, he wants it long. Weighted over the head of Brown. It was almost perfect. Geary. Darling. Didn't matter. Huntington fires away and misses.
Well, Jace, that's the third time I think they've got him out the back at West Coast. They really, I know they want to squeeze up tight and you want to keep the ball in your forward half, but if you're not getting the pressure in your forward half, you're opening your defence right up at the moment.
Yeah, and each time it's come from a boot of like a Shannon Hearn or a Jeremy McGovern that can get that penetrating kick over the top.
Interesting decision as to where to kick there. Put a lot of faith in Billy Longer. get some good help. He certainly needed it. White, brave kick, but beautifully executed. He's shown some good signs so far. Dunstan, Webster, they've got to the outer, from one half back to the other. Another fumble, which they'll be disappointed in. Jack Stephen be frustrated with that. Getting a lot of room to move at the moment. That was just his second disposal of the game, and just comes away labouring a little as the two coaches as pensive as anyone here today watching on. It is a freezing day outside in Melbourne. That's the perfect venue to be playing this afternoon, that's for sure. Wet as well. Mitchell's handball. Marston. Kennedy again, both arms up, no whistle. Carpeney perfectly set for him, and he keeps it low and keeps it true.
It's a clever goal, a very clever goal. Malcolm Carpeney, he had to show strength here because he's being dragged down in the tackle as he goes to kick the ball. He knows where the goals are. He just has to keep it straight. It's nothing fancy. He's getting dragged down, but he does it very, very well.
Marston's step out of the pack was very good as well. He had 3 St Kilda players around him. They all went to look for the receive where he was possibly going to handball it. Snuck out the back.
So Malcolm Carpeney in his 7th game of AFL football, his 6th goal. He's keeping Josh Hill out of the team. There seems to certainly be a more concentration on youth as they start to look to the future. We know the departing players at the end of the year. There'll be a number of them. Shuey certainly won't be going anywhere, though. He's a dynamic player, so too Gaff. Mitchell made his big announcement during the week. Tried to craft that and went in between the two Eagles there.
St.Kilda, advantage.
Carpeney's tackle just lingered a little too long. Gresham brushes off Redden, tries to go with the flow. Nunes had to get the feet dancing. And now driving for Billings, up to take the mark. Reeva leads hard. He's just led a fraction early. By the time Billings was ready to release, he was too close. Goes for Bruce. Plenty of Eagles in the air and enough of them on the ground as well. Yo, Nelson. Gresham, outstanding job, just couldn't quite complete the mark. Now, is the umpire going to say he is dragged it under? He was the one that made all the play.
Yeah, that's right.
Take the mark. It was a bit stiff, but you can see why. So, short stuff here from the Eagles. Oh, it's going to be 50.
It's against Gresham because he was trying to follow Andrew Gaff, who was running for the hand pass. But at the last moment, Gaff stepped one side and Gresham went the other, and he was too close to the man with the ball.
Yep.
So it's going to take Redden just within range, maybe. He's kicked the 1 goal for the season. And this is his 14th game, so he's never been a huge goal kicker. Blows away to the right. So the Eagles now 7 scoring shots to 4 and an 8-point lead. Kobe Stevens played 11 games, averaging 22 disposals, played 12 in the premiership year for the Bulldogs last year, but of course with injury he wasn't there come September. I've turned this over. Mitchell will leverage that advantage, and it's well placed for Darling.
Good decision maker, Sam Mitchell. He just took his time, weighed up the options, and in the end, the kick out the space to Jack Darling, who'll have to kick from basically 50 or a metre outside the 50-metre arc. Gets good distance with his kick, so he should be in range.
15 seconds gone.
As we mentioned last week, started in outstanding fashion into the game with 17 disposals, 9 marks and 2 goals too. Game number 146 for the West Coast Eagles. A slight stutter, and in the end he's pushed it out quite strongly to the right. So the Eagles suffering their own kicking issues in front of goal.
A couple of easy misses in this quarter to their 2 key forwards.
Dunstan, his 9th disposal, sends St Kilda to the wing. Bruce did all the hard work early on Schofield, not paid the mark all for. He can't believe it. Elliot Yeo strides away. Last minute decision to handball to Darling. Goes for Kennedy. Oh, did it all, but not quite take the mark now. McGovern, this could be, no, he decides to handball instead. Webster, hangs it out, just asking for trouble. Bruce came late. That was just the remedy the Saints needed. They had to impact the contest, and they were able to. A little bit of chalk with that kick from White. And we'll have a throw in. They've dodged one there, the Saints.
Moons, was that right on the line, Moons?
Surely his arm was pulled.
It was. Absolutely, the right elbow was hit by Schofield, so if it wasn't a mark, it should have been a free kick. Technically speaking, of course, difficult for the umpire to see.
Steele. High ball now. Revolt's down if it hits the front. It did, but a little bit too strong for him. Gaff had to dig deep knowing that he had nothing really around him. And the Saints should be able to work this out. Superior numbers. Sinclair probing again. Bruce and Membry both there. Plenty of Eagles. Marston right in the line of fire. Gaff, it's hot down there in the last line. McKenzie.
Not sure how Marston got rid of that one.
He ran into a tackle and it just spilt out.
Oh, Duggan. That kick was laced with danger, but it might end up working out for the Eagles. Shuey was able to shrug that tackle a little too easy. Mitchell's kick impeded. Hunted down there by Kobe Stevens now. Seb Ross just backing away. Gave the handball to Stevens, who really was not expecting it and probably shouldn't have been expecting it. Geary just to try and settle things down for the Saints. Puts his faith in Membry, who started strongly. 1:20 to go in the opening turn. Saints would dearly love one late to reflect the evenness of this opening quarter. 12 inside 50s each. The Eagles, though, have the edge on the scoreboard. Bruce flies, Hearn powerful in the air. And that's not quite out. Sheed. Well done, Membry. And they'll get another opportunity with the Saints.
Not sure how he spilled that ball either. I think he had the arms chopped.
Yes.
A couple of them have gone missing.
Saints have lost the last 3 games in a row. 2 points to Port Adelaide, 42 to Sydney and 61 to Essendon. It'll be their first 4-game losing streak since 2014 if they go down today. They're certainly hoping to avoid that. Stay in the race for finals action. Jake Carlisle has had a pretty decent year for the Saints, averaging 14 disposals and 6 marks a game. Gaff. It's deemed out on the full. So
Jono, Jack Stephen very quiet, just the 2 possessions. Hasn't been able to get into the game as yet.
Early on he had a couple of long runs on the outer wing, but other than that, hasn't been able to find the Sharon.
Well, Revolt was impeded immediately. Sheed. Now, how are they going to call this? No. You know what they think? Shane McNeely, a very experienced campaigner. Well, they get their way in the end. Free kick to Big Billy. Doesn't have a lot of kicks, Billy Longer. Has to this time, though. Puts it up to full forward. Billings almost.
It's a mark in front.
It's a mark in front. Is it Steele under there? It is Jack Steele. Billings looked the threatening one in the pack, but Steele was in front.
It's a good mark from Jack Steele. He had a man in front. He had a man coming over the top. He just did well to track it all the way down.
He's kicked 3 goals, 7. So he fits that bill of offending Saints during the year in front of goal. Plenty of Eagles on the mark trying to get into his head. But he's able to pull that aside and put it through. And we've got the game we hope for here at Etihad Stadium. It's tight, it's tense, and the Eagles' lead is just 3 points with so much on the line. We're back here shortly. Again, it was a hard kick to make, wasn't it?
Yep.
didn't he execute it well? So we'll watch for that. Great stuff, Moons. 3-5-23 to 3-2-20. That's so great stuff to start the second quarter. Who else needs to get into the game other than Jack Stephen, boys, do you think?
Well, Bruce only had the one disposal. It was a goal, but I think he needs to work out a way to find a little bit more, especially on the lead. Be that link a little bit more for the Saints.
So Stephen bursting out of the opening stoppage, going after it again. Hearn, this is Hutchings. Kept the would-be tackler at bay and gets it over the line and out of bounds.
From the West Coast perspective, two players haven't touched the ball yet, Jamie Cripps and Brad Shepherd.
That's it.
Unusual for both of them.
Was going to drop a little short. Longer was onto that. Sam Mitchell has been doing for so many years. Read it beautifully at the stoppage. Takes it close to the line. Well done by Brown, but the Eagles able to gain some further ground. McGovern, there's nothing for him long. McCraw, Darling and Kennedy both pushed ahead here. Goes for Darling. Robert maybe just slightly misjudged the flight. So Darling finds McGovern. He's trying to get this one to curl back, but just a little bit too late.
Just judged the ball a lot better than Dylan Robertson there. Jack Darling knew it was going over the top. We've spoken about Jack Stephen. It is Mark Hutchings that's doing the job on him, keeping him very, very quiet. Just 3 possessions for Jack Stephen.
Nunes. High ball. Petrie trying to reach over the top of Longer. Success. Gaff. A stand up with Akers. A little hole for Longer. Oh, that's high. Good steal. And goes to Dom Sheed. So Kennedy in the square. There's a bit blocking going on to try and let him come up. There he is. Nathan Brown. It'll be one-on-one essentially. Kennedy wrapped both hands around it. Akers cornered in the back pocket. Tried to shape the kick and executed it pretty well. Gets it out of bounds.
You see right there, Mark Hutchings going to Jack Stephen. He puts the arm across at every stoppage. He blocks the run. He's very, very good at doing it.
The Eagles, of course, coming off a 68-point win over Brisbane at Domain Stadium last week, their biggest win of the season.
But you look there as well, Stephen's still standing where the stoppage happened.
Yeah,
so
start away from there.
In some ways, he's accepting what is happening to him at the minute. He needs to fight through it. He needs to use his teammates. He's trying to go to Gaff, as you can see there, create a bit of a 2-on-1. So at least he's trying to do that, which gives Ross the opportunity, the other side of the stoppage, to have an impact for the Saints. Got to make it worse. Ross is the one to do that.
Steele, Dunstan, and here is Seb Ross. Crisp looking kick back to the wing, but Hearn read the path, gets it deep. Darling knew it was going out the back, and he get a boot to it. Robertson beat him to the punch. Brown with the backup. 3 for a behind.
John, even better. I'd just like to see somebody actually go over and put a block on.
Yeah, that's right. There we go.
Something. Just try and get him free. Try and get him into the game. Don't just allow him to cop it as well.
That's right.
Nunes. Kennedy standing guard, still on 49 goals for the season and 499 for his career. Petrie in front, Longer. Shuey, stolen by Billings. Look what that's created. Bruce is a big chain ahead. It's clear. Billings going his own steam. Revolt ducks back instead. He went short for the man who seemed to be trusting as much as any right now, and that's Tim Membry.
He timed it really well, Tim Membry. He just waited for Jack Billings to get settled. He knew he was going to lead up. He had space in front of him. It was just a matter of waiting until Billings was ready to kick the footy. Which isn't always easy when a player's having a bounce.
And there's the numbers.
6 from 9, good conversion rate.
Yeah, certainly supports your thought of Tim Membry as being a fine kick for goal. He's already shown that once today. 30 goals, 12 for the season. Just went out to the right a fraction, and the kick was shaped with a little bit of left to right to adjust to that, and the Saints hit the front.
Well, the intercept was sensational from Jack Billings. He just cuts it off right there, splits the middle, and he's off. He's gone. He's seen the try line. Off he runs. But more importantly, he gets this kick right here with composure. He had Nick Riewoldt going back to the square. His left leg was blocked up. He went on the right and hit Membry up perfectly. And look at that. That's just a pure kick.
Tim Membry gives the Saints the lead. 4-2 to 3-7 here at Etihad Stadium. Geary. He's got a bit of a run on the Saints. Mitchell. Kobe Stevens ripped away by Hearn and eventually got the handball working. Mitchell again, taking it from Gaff. Duggan got out to this side. Marston for Darling, but Webster. McGovern, terrific for Partington. Bit of a speculator of a handball for Carpeney. They needed a lot of things to go right, but they didn't. Longer. Slight fumble allows McGovern back in. And now trying to stretch out Redden. Back out to Partington. Gaff. High ball set up for Darling. Geary can't get there. Darling, a big physical presence. Partington. So it's the Eagles with the kicking woes in this game. 3 goals, 8 for them. Remember last time they met, they kicked 18-8 to 13-19. The Eagles winning that one by 19 points back in round 2. Overcoming a 6-point deficit at three-quarter time. That was the game where Alan Richardson made his comments of the noise of affirmation.
Yes, that's right. Once in the first quarter, St Kilda's tried to make that work. Didn't work that time.
Oh, had to be high.
Yeah. Oh, and then he copped a little bit of extra on the way through.
Umpire downfield saw that one. Umpire in control was just blocked from the angle.
Kobe Stevens off to Ross. He's accumulating. His 11th disposal. Riewoldt one way, Savage the other. Has a clear path. Chips it up for Bruce. Schofield couldn't quite get there in time. And Josh Bruce left a nice, healthy divot there. And he'll go back with a really tough shot here.
A lot of hard running there. Initially, Savage, who got on the end of the kick from Ross, and then both Bruce and Riewoldt had gone on long searching leads. It's a really well-weighted kick from Savage. Didn't try to do anything special, just out in space in front of Bruce to run onto.
So, Josh Bruce, as we said, kicked a goal early. 30 goals, 20 for the season. There's a chance from here. Can't get the shape he wanted. Petrie from the side. Didn't mark, but forces it through for a minor. Enough to give the Saints the narrowest of margins. Duggan. Oh, Redden. Treacherous time to fall over. Eventually it'll be Nunes that takes the shot and hits the post.
Pressing hard at the moment, the Saints.
Yeah.
They desperately need a little bit of possession, the West Coast Eagles. Just to hit a few targets and just deny the Saints the ball for a moment or two.
Hearn kicking in. Schofield. Straight down the corridor to Carpeney. He's got Hutchings pushing away. McGrath coming up. Lecras coming up. Just leaves it hanging there. Sinclair did enough to disrupt. Then he fell over. Luckily, only played a fall over today. Nunes. Oh. Upended illegally. Kobe Stevens will take the free at centre-half back. Up for Robertson. Membry charging up the ground, giving him a short option just to your right of screen. He eventually takes it. The end of a very long lead.
1 millimetre. Oh, that mark.
So he pulls the trigger on a dangerous kick for Steele. Hutchings feigned the handball, and that cleared a path for him. And Darling.
High contact.
Contact was high. Here's White.
Keen to have a look at it on the scoreboard. young White, just looking to see where the infringement was.
Did Kennedy try and take the advantage there, or is it just the...
There didn't look to be a lot in it.
No.
Kennedy did take the ball
take it
and had a shot.
Yep.
It was smothered.
I reckon he was a bit stiff, Brandon White.
So mixed bag for Jack Darling from there.
You'd think he'd be better from that position on the ground.
To give the Eagles back the lead. Perfect.
Well, he's been a solid player for a long time, Jack Darling. We know that from a West Coast point of view. He makes the most of his opportunity right here. Josh Kennedy's right nearby. Now, these guys have played 120 games together, and not too often have both kicked 4+ in a game. In fact, this year, they haven't done that whatsoever. You look at that over the last 6 years, it hasn't happened too often. 2013 was a big year, but the last 3, only once have both players kicked 4+ in a game together. So that's what they need to probably get right, I'd say, that more consistency between the two bigs. See if they can get 8 goals between them. 4 each would be nice.
Drew Petrie in his own world there.
Yeah, he had the opportunity to give it to Hutchings, who'd broken for him. Thought he was clear. Drew Petrie.
Too good to be true, and it was.
Yeah, you don't normally get that much space, particularly for a big bloke.
Jack Steele goes short to Big Billy. Could have his second kick here. No, it's a handball. Off to Webster. Oh, Mavuela, as we have a look at that last tackle. Marston. Oh, bit going on off the ball. Nick Revolt pulls up sore. Here's Billy Long going to try and track it down. Interesting handball. All that convincing from the Saints, but Savage will drive it long. Weller flew. Jack Sinclair, little shove, I reckon. Yep. Nick looks sore.
Still a little bit proppy, Nick, after falling heavily. Let's have a look at him here. He wasn't moving that well to start with.
Oh,
Hit his head on the ground.
Just a nice solid bump from Liam Duggan. Effectively shepherding a teammate, so entitled to do so.
So Shannon Hearn with the Eagles lead at 4. Oh, he's given Revolt a good opportunity, which Nick takes with a fist.
Well, he just kicked in between his two teammates there, and Duggan in the end.
It's a perfect shepherd. He's entitled to do that.
He's just clipped his head on the ground.
Oh, Hutchings tries to slip the Jack Stephen tackle. He enjoyed that, Jack. Oh.
Good technique not to get into the back of him as well, running at that pace. Unless he's got to work hard on the defensive side of things, Jack Stephen, while the possessions aren't coming. Plenty of other things you can do.
Billy Longer, let them started. Dunstan confronted by Marston, gave it up. Partington to Redden. Carpenter in front, White right on his hammer. Here's Kennedy way up the ground.
Oh, look at this.
And the chase is on, and it's 3 versus 1. Surely the numbers will prevail. And Mark Lacroix is on the end of it, and he can stride with delight into goal. And the Eagles lead extended here to 10.
They got 3 players goal side bench on it.
Yeah.
It was a raffle.
It worked because the Carpenter played in front first with a quick kick out. So then he was able to release a handball to Kennedy, and the 3 forwards there knew exactly what was going to unfold from that position. They've been able to get out the back a few times, West Coast, in this game.
It's hurt them a bit,
It has, and so St Kilda are going to have to adjust their last line because they need at least one back to protect. Everyone's up, and West Coast with their movement are just getting through too easily.
So Mark Lacroix kicks his second goal. And the Eagles holding sway just at the moment, and get further ahead here through Elliot Yeo. Darling on the bounce. Kennedy ducks back to goal. Sheed meantime wrapped up. Lacroix trying to get it even beyond Hutchings to Cripps, who gets that opportunity now but is immediately shut down. And that's holding the ball. That's the sort of energy and effort that the Saints have their trademark.
It's just not happening for Jamie Cripps at the moment. He's only had the 1 possession. He finally finds the ball and he's just besieged upon.
One more than Brad Shepherd.
Yeah, that's... Brad Shepherd hasn't been in that situation too often, I wouldn't have thought.
Done a couple of nice things, Brad Shepherd, with tackles and so forth, but now Kennedy will have the shot for goal, and once again looking for his 500th.
Done a pretty good job, Nathan Brown, to date.
He could become the 5th player to reach the milestone this year. Jack Riewoldt, Eddie Betts, Jared Ruffhead and Steve Johnson already kicking 500 this year. Josh Kennedy for 500 goals. And he has so often in his career, he's kicked truly. A great moment for Josh Kennedy. A fantastic milestone. He's led the way up forward. Recruited at Carlton, of course, so many years ago, and not many would have thought at that stage he would have become the goal kicker that he has become for the Eagles, part of that famous Chris Judd trade.
Yeah, he's missed a number of games this year, but he's right up there in the Coleman medal race, and you mentioned it earlier. He's averaging nearly a goal better per game than the other contenders. Nearly at 4 a game, 3.8 for Josh Kennedy.
50 goals for the season, 500 for the career. And some great names in that 500 club. Mitchell to centre half forward, Darling. It's out to 16 points right now. There's got to be some urgency about St Kilda's play. Geary wasn't the best of handballs, as we could see. He's not eventuated. Gaff keeps it low. And sturdy stuff from Sheed. Stood his ground. Kennedy, the 59th player in 121 years of VFL AFL to achieve that milestone. 500 or more goals. Now it's Dom Sheed. He's kicked the last 3. This to take it to 22 points. He's taken a great shot at it. Wow, what a goal from Sheed. And the Saints have got some issues now.
It's happened in the blink of an eye, Jono.
Hasn't it? 15 disposals now for Dom Sheed. Still 8 minutes to go in this quarter, but they're spreading a lot harder. You see Sheed just sitting inside forward 50 all by himself there. And with the ball movement they are getting West Coast, St Kilda need to tighten up around direct opponents. And that's an excellent finish there from Dom Sheed.
One in, please. One in, please.
His 11th goal for the season. Leads the disposals as well. He's really finding form late in the season, Dom Sheed.
St Kilda. Advantage, advantage.
He's had that continuity too, which he's strived for in the past. Nelson. Here's Shepherd. His first touch. Marston puts it out on the full. Kobe Stevens goes long. Big fly from Membry. Oh, well, I gave it straight to Sheed. Doesn't need any extra help to earn possessions. Nelson does the same, and Sheed's gone. Fair to say, wasn't probably expecting that either.
No, he had to fire the quick one back to Nelson, who was running past for the receive, trying to take on the tackle, and it was an excellent effort from Kobe Stevens here to hold him up.
He's trying to lift the Saints, Kobe Stevens. They need a big grab from Membry. He was threatening. Ah, here we go. Sinclair. Well, that was a little easy, wasn't it?
Well, it was like that. A little bit of a surprise as well. With the ease, they ended up kicking that goal there, St Kilda. Billings, I think it's his responsibility here, and he does it well. He crashes the pack there for that front and square, keeps the ball alive. And then Sinclair with a little bit of luck. Yeah, a little bit of luck there, but Billings there, he's the one who keeps that alive with the contest on Hearn and allows Nunes to throw it on the boot, and they create a little bit of luck for themselves.
Did a fortune, but he was maybe just letting their guard down a little bit there.
Yep.
16 points the margin. Shannon Hearn needs some attention.
Just got a little nick over the top of the left eye there, Hudder. They're just fixing that up now.
So the Saints needed that one after 4 consecutive West Coast goals. The Eagles dominating this quarter. 4 goals, 3 to 2-2. And Sheed,
as he was kicking it, so that'll come back to where the kick was.
his 7th disposal of the quarter.
Up there.
Tosses it up for Petrie or McGovern. Oh, Carlisle just plucked it. Outstanding mark from Jake Carlisle. Had 7 intercepts last week out of his 11 disposals. Savage.
Hold down, Luke, please. Hold, Luke.
Dunstan. Now Gresham.
Hold down.
Run out of ideas. He goes short to Billings. Well, sure the ball did actually stop there. So Billings. Akers looking to fire it out. Darling doing some really good defensive work there to put the pressure on and make him change his mind. Savage, who is excellent by foot on most occasions. Nunes for Akers, squeezed in on the wing. Threatening with the hands. In the end, it's a rushed kick. Marston, great full-bodied effort at that one, and the Eagles able to contain and control. White to challenge Hutchings in the air. And then use a bit of pace to get past him. As we mentioned before, he's shown a little bit, Brandon White. Just his 3rd game of AFL footy from Beaconsfield and Dandenong under 18s. Hearn being patched up. And some extra instruction for him down there. Akers. Elliot Yeo, here's Sinclair again. He's got Revolt.
Great kick. That is a classy kick. Brilliant decision, great execution. Revolt was the one on his own in the corridor. All the other players were leading. A lot of players would have had a shot for goal, but he had a good look around, straightened up. Just kicked a goal. Sinclair, and now he sets one up.
He's played 183 games here at Etihad Stadium, and now he's kicked 450 goals at this venue. Saints with 2 in a row. Does feel like it's that sort of game, just momentum, little ones, or slightly bigger ones in the Eagles' case in this quarter.
Well, you can see there Nick Riewoldt all by himself inside 450, and that was fantastic vision from Sinclair, but the kick was exceptional because he kicked it on the outside of his right foot to get it to Nick Riewoldt. And look, you're right, Hutto, they're coming back, and it's been a good response all West Coast the last 5 minutes. Now positive effort by the Saints.
Could be something building down on the Saints bench. Cam Mooney, what's happened with Jack Stephen?
Well, we're just trying to find out at the moment, Jace. He's gone underneath. It was about 5 minutes ago, so he still hasn't come back up, so not sure what's going on at the moment, but he's gone under for the last 5 minutes. Can't be that great at the moment.
Thanks, Moons. Well, the Saints at least have kicked a couple of goals, so the Eagles now need to redouble their efforts. That's a trip. It's gone to Redden.
Oh, he's reported for tripping.
Luke Dunstan.
Let's have a look here.
It's a reflex, wasn't it?
Certainly catches him.
Yep. Carlisle against McGovern in the air, and Big Billy got back to help out.
That's what you want your ruckman doing, isn't it? But not delivering an ordinary handball.
Yeah, you generally want to try and hit the handball if you can. Sinclair's been busy. Waits, drives, back to the wing. Revolt again. The last one created a goal. Josh Bruce is lurking inside 50 against McKenzie. Membry drifting down again. He's lofted that into the middle for Gresham. It hung there a long time.
Gee, they're out the other side.
They are. Either White or Akers to take it into the 50. Oh, he had Geary on him all on his own, but
It's done well.
went for Bruce and found him.
Sometimes it is a better option, but sometimes just hit the easy ones. Consistently hit the easy ones, things work out for you. That could have easily been cut off. Look, it's a great kick in the end here, but he did have Geary for the easier kicks over the top. Obviously didn't trust his skipper for a set shot, Jason.
So I reckon Alan Richardson would be much happier seeing this bloke having a shot from there than Jaron Geary from a tighter angle.
There's his history.
Oh, it's
not so
spot.
good.
Not his spot.
Kicked 6 goals in his last 4 games. Josh Bruce. 1 already today. And it was teasing the post the whole way. So the Saints 6-5-41, West Coast 7-8-50.
We're seeing Jack just back up now, guys. He's done a couple of run-throughs. I reckon it might be a bit of a groin there. I can see him stretching that a lot at the moment. But he's doing some run-throughs. Looks to be able to, he's coming back on.
At least he's back up and about, which is good news for Saints fans. And let's hope there's nothing too seriously wrong with Jack Stephen.
Oh, just about ridden that time, Carlo. Just remembering back to the first quarter when he kicked one that went out of bounds, I think on the full. He just looked a bit sore after that. So I don't know whether that was the cause of it.
And he's back on the ground now, Jack Stephen.
Back to the wing. Jack Stephen takes the mark, so he's okay now.
Perfect.
And we'll get another disposal. Maybe he wasn't keen on kicking, not sure. Nunes bangs it high.
He just wanted the 1-2, Hutto.
Oh, Yo didn't complete it. Hearn surrounded by Saints. The danger was growing, and eventually... Wow. Big non-call there.
Tell you what, it's interesting watching Jack Stephen run. I mean, he's never had the purest of gait when you watch him actually run.
He's always had that waddle.
I know. It looks like he's been riding a horse for a week.
Follow that. Steele. It's the handball away. He'll go tumbling to ground. Brad Shepherd. Right off the side of the boot. Now White. Again, trying to issue some instructions. There you go, he lowballs it. But nicely read by Drew Petrie. And now Nelson. Hemmed in beautifully. Just hesitated a fraction. Sinclair having a big quarter. And he just about found Revo. Billings to the square. Akers takes the grab. And the Saints are playing with much more purpose right at the moment.
Sinclair's the spark.
Isn't he?
Called it well.
Yeah.
Only had 4 disposals for the quarter, but I think each and every one of them has created something.
That's right, and that's all you've got to do, especially playing as that half forward.
So Blake Akers, he's had a good quarter too.
He tried to kick the banana goal too, Jack Billings, and it turned into an instep torp that found Blake Akers.
Kicked that crucial goal, 3/4 time last week, and he's done it here. And that's 3 in a row for the Saints.
Well, they're building some good pressure, repeat entries, which is now putting the West Coast Eagles under the pump. It was a great smother. And then second effort here, and look, Sinclair was a great left foot kick. Rewalt just spoiled at the last minute, but they keep it alive. Billings' front and square work is becoming one of the best in the competition, and he's able to capitalise on that occasion. Look, it wasn't a great kick from him, but it worked out with his teammate in the right place at the right time.
Well, they are very, very similar numbers, both teams in the second term. Goals, possessions, inside 50s, clearances, everything virtually the same.
The Eagles have won 11 second quarters this year, the equal second most second quarters won in the AFL. The problems have been in the second half. So right now the Saints full of spirit. White goes wide and finds Bruce, who wants to keep going after taking the mark. Shells off the handball. He decided to just go by him. Bruce kept on coming. He's cornered. He's not sure what to do. Nunes, left foot kick. Shuey and Petrie getting each other's road. Sinclair goes to ground.
Off the leg.
Tripped.
Thought Petrie was lucky there. He came in hard. Steele was standing up.
Steele had it stolen.
Over the top
By Hearn. Indecision. Goes short. Kennedy and Brown. One-on-one inside 50. Didn't trust it. Turned it over. Now it's the surging Saints. Nunes. Sinclair doubling back to goal. Kick curled into the pocket. Yo. Gresham. just gets away. Bruce. And that'll perfect for Jeremy McGavin.
Wasted opportunity for the Saints. Nunes had options in the corridor. He just went deep to where all the Eagles defenders were.
Right there.
And Sam Mitchell just steadying the ship for the Eagles. Gets them to half-time, but they've conceded the last 3 goals. As Jason said, it ended up being 4 goals, 3 each for the quarter. And almost all the numbers are identical in that term. Saints is having a little bit more of the contested possession. They were behind in that at quarter time, so most things levelling out. And where it matters on the scoreboard, it's 7-8 to 7-5 as we get down to Cameron Mooney with his favourite player.
Yeah, thanks, Hutto. Jez, I mean, fantastic game to watch. Just a game of momentum swings at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to love your footy. It's going up and down at the moment. They're probably going top for a bit there, but that's just the way it is. We'll bounce back in the second half.
Yourself, you're playing that ruck forward role. How are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's going all right. I'm trying to play my role. Didn't get a couple of contests done down there, but hopefully make amends in the second half.
How are you going with Jackie Carlo? Is it more about getting him out of the way or just making sure that you play your role down there?
Oh, I'll probably play my role, but you got to be aware of him as well. He plays similar to myself, and I play down back, but you know, he's going all right. He got on top a little bit there, so we'll have to, second half will be a big focus.
Good on you, Jez. Thanks for your time, mate.
Thanks, Moons. Well, I don't think we know a lot more than what we did when this game started. What we do know, it's a great contest and there's a lot at stake. The Eagles lead by 3 at the half. We're back shortly to Etihad Stadium.
Well, plenty of improvement left in the Saints, and similarly, you could talk about West Coast, given Josh Kennedy's only kicked the 1 goal.
Yep, been a good battle between he and Nathan Brown. That 1 goal taking him to 500 overall in his career. Drew Petrie, they had the faith to pick him today ahead of Nathan Vardy. 50 plays, 47. And Longer got the tap down. Stephen gets straight into the act with some help from Steele. Saints to half forward. Shepherd stole the march on Billings. Linking up with Gaff, number 1 uncontested player in the competition. Hutchings, who's Stephen's opponent. To Steele, a bit of a standoff. The triangle handball, and eventually Billings to centre half forward. Revolt versus Yo. Gresham. Revolt gave it straight to Shuey, and the Saints were all surging. So in reply, the Eagles have got lots of numbers. And it's Cripps that belts back to goal, and he takes the chest mark.
Oh, is that 50?
He is going to pay it.
Yeah, he has to pay 50 there. Tripped up. He was about to take off and tripped up. Umpire hadn't called play on yet.
I guess the difficulty is, though, Jaron Geary had gone to ground, so
right.
he couldn't have stopped him if he did want to play on.
So Cripps can come in and pop this through and give the Eagles the fine start to this 3rd quarter. His first goal of the afternoon.
We highlighted it at half-time, Jason, about West Coast being able to get out the back on the lead, and they did on that occasion with Cripps. He only touched the ball once in the first half, so he'll be looking for a big 3rd quarter here, and that's the ideal start.
There goes the left hand, just to grab the foot.
Yep.
Well, out the back, another goal to the Eagles. 9 points the margin. Longer again holds sway with the tap.
And that's the way Jamie Cripps has got to approach it when you have a half a footy where you only touch it once and you do nothing. You don't need a lot of the ball, but if he can kick 2 or 3 goals in the second half, that can go a long way towards getting West Coast home.
Well read by Dunstan. Gives everyone a chance to fly, which they do. McKenzie was the highest of them all. Batted away by Sinclair. Gresham shells it out. Jack Stephen goes short, and Billings holds off.
The bare 15, that kick, wasn't it?
I don't think Brad Shepherd thought it was
No.
a 15.
He's handballed off.
To Nunes. It was a right footer, and that gave him a better shot at the title. And he's put it through. Just.
We were directly behind that kick. I swore all the way it was going to kiss
That's
the post.
right. And just at the last second, it just moves enough to miss it. Good work by the young fella behind the goal there to get the ball back.
Did well to get it off in such quick time. Nunes as well, because he only had a couple of steps before the kick would have been smothered. Oh,
Just flirted with the post, didn't it, the whole time?
tracked it all the way.
Number 1 meters game player on the ground. Back to 3 points again. It feels like a final, this one.
St.Kilda.
And here's Big Billy again out of the middle. Oh, you can see Revolt's head thrust back when the kick went so skew-if, but the Eagles didn't get the job done. Duggan took that to ground. Well done by Gresham. Really wrapped him up.
Yeah, Billy Longer just needs to get away from those one-step kicks. He's got to get back and then push through the ball, because the big fella, the big ball drop, just makes it difficult off one step, trying to go for distance.
Apply that KISS principle, Jono.
Yep, exactly right.
Hutchings. Stephen wrapped him up really effectively, and handcuffs went on Mitchell that time from Steele. He loves to lay a tackle or two.
And of course the KISS principle, Jono, is
keep it simple, silly.
Mitchell. Oh, Kennedy got it out, but he's surrounded by St Kilda players. Robertson. Path opened up for him pretty easily. Down the line he went. Good mark to Gresham. Saints fans still waiting for him to just completely blossom. Gresham does some special things. Still a young man. It was a wobbly one in flight. Fisted away with ease down there by Hearn. Kennedy got a run at it. They try and get him out the back again. This time the two, well, it doesn't come together anyway, but the Saints had a little bit back. Savage, good work. Bruce takes the mark and can put them in front.
And credit where it's due, Billy Longer, a very important little touch there. It looked like he was going to dive on the ball. He got there first before the West Coast players, but just as he was about to get swamped in a tackle, he just tapped the ball out to a teammate. That released the hand pass to Savage.
Just on that, Joe, Shuey's actually coming off the ground right now because of that dive. He's got his legs taken out with that under him. Actually asked the question to the umpire, but he's coming off now a bit sore.
So Josh Bruce. 1 goal, 1 for the afternoon. That looks fine. Absolutely. Saints back in front. For the third time today, St Kilda hit the front. The Eagles have led for most of the day, but it's certainly been a very tight contest. There's another look at that.
Kept it alive though, on a repeat entry for St Kilda. That's what got them back into the contest in the second quarter, and you can see Bruce there with the hook lead, just working back towards goal, coming back at the ball carrier. He's very good at doing that when he's got time and space around him.
So Shuey goes downstairs for some treatment.
Not a good sign. Passion
all over the face of Josh Bruce. Outstanding game. We've got big day of footy right around the country as Webster kicks it wide. And Revolt, a little double grab. And just a little something to go on with from Elliot Yeo.
It's just not quite happening for him, Nick Revolt, working hard, a little frustrated. Elliot Yeo running with him in the third quarter.
Saints have kicked 2 goals to 1 to take the lead in this third quarter. The wrestle's on. Longer. Kennedy pushing well up the ground at the moment. High on Kobe Stephen.
High tackle. Mark. Here's a mark.
Fires it out to Akers. Eyes Darty looking for something. Billings in front. Who's there for Elliot Yeo. Nelson. McGovern. Hearn sweeping across half-back. Shepherd to Mitchell. Not the perfect kick. Put it back behind McKenzie, and that just halts the progress a little. Now Shepherd.
Oh, there, Blake.
Still early stages of this third quarter. 8 minutes travel, 2 goals to 1. Yeo. For now, Redden. LaCroix comes up to the ball. Takes the mark in front of Savage. Kennedy holds his ground. There's 2 against him at the top of his screen. At 30 out from goal, so they're going to work another angle.
Got an option in the middle of the ground. Oh, he was going to pull the trigger on the kick to Nelson.
Instead, it's a wobbler down the line. Playing in front, Kobe Stevens does well. Savage, go! Cross centre half back. Akers, Nunes had an excellent game. Driving kick, challenge for Bruce to get there. McKenzie wearing him very well. Saints fans took a different view. And he's floated the handball for Shepherd. Was in trouble and he knew it, coughed it up anyway. Saints storming forward through Akers and Revolt.
Oh, got options in the middle.
Spoiled for choice.
He's going to go to it.
Oh, wasn't really sure which of the three to take.
He's good on the left peg.
He didn't actually look that inclined to pass on that occasion.
No. They were getting closed up. He's good enough on that left leg, Rewalt, to hit it.
Get around the corner on the left, you reckon, Jono?
Yep.
I think he might be a bit... No, he's going to. I thought he was too far out for that.
Pulls the trigger very quickly after shaping up. Gresham, excellent work from Hearn. Lacroix next to feel it. Well reeled in, and some good sharp hands. Billings took it from Gresham. Here's Revolt again.
Oh, great kick.
Didn't get there.
Oh, dropped it.
Partington delayed the give till Gaff got to the right spot and kept on coming. The young South Australian linking up well on a couple of occasions. Kennedy's got two to encounter here. Webster. Kennedy comes again. It's good, strong stuff, but he's given away the free, Josh Kennedy.
It's all St.Kilda at the moment. They are surging, looking to put some space on the scoreboard.
Savage, deep kick. They need someone to fly. McGovern at the back. Sinclair, little give. Yep. Revolt. Cue the North. No. Into the square. Confusion.
How did they mess that up? How on earth did they mess that up?
Was it going through, or was the kick just too quick that the St Kilda player, I think it was Gresham, had to just touch it?
Well, we'll come back to it when we get a chance, but right now it's the Eagles with a counter punch for Kennedy. Josh Kennedy, the grab, the kick, the goal. And the Eagles are back in front.
How quick was it, the transition from the West Coast after this happened here with Rewalt?
That's a horrible kick.
Yeah, he's
Big Revolt, a horrible kick.
The dribble. So there it is. Point has been given and West Coast went straight down the middle. And Kennedy here, great mark. He had Andrew Gaff, but he turned, took the responsibility himself. That's a big turnaround, that.
Huge turnaround. His second goal of the day, Josh Kennedy delivers the lead back for the West Coast Eagles. Thump went the ball. Saints fans wanted a recall. Savage. Revolt engages Yo. That was excellent timing, but Yo did a great job. Billings, those smaller Saints are really threatening across half forward in this quarter. Akers. Back to Savage again. See if they can pick their way forward. Up to it, Weller. Turns. Eagles gridded in front of him. Membry is the deep option. And the three Eagles come to fly. One of them, McGovern, didn't complete it. And Redden did well to rip it away. Yo was the insurance at the back. Shuey, just reaches in and then kicks out to the wing. Darling. Cripps is on the fly at half forward. Saints well represented ahead of the ball here, but he could go short to Lacroix. Was he held without it? He was.
Savage is spent. He was happy to give that free kick. Yeah, give that free kick away.
Kennedy comes to the footy now. Ignored. Longer for Darling. Stevens is going to be outsized. He's done well to neutralise. Ball up for grabs. Dangerous spot here for St Kilda. Kennedy hit it hard. Did he hit it high? The umpire says ball up. Kobe Stevens penalised for going in with the head. Down too low. Longer. Dangerously kicked out of the air. Well done by Gresham to get ball to boot. Shuey. Partington. Disposed of instantly. Saints again, first to the ball. Wild handball. Nelson counters. Yo. Carpenter takes his turn. And the heat is on. Well done, Steele.
Hume's in trouble there. I think he might have got one in the eye.
Short to Weller.
There's some real intensity in this. It's lifted a gear.
Revolt. Nune's still struggling. He needs help. Time expires for Nick Revolt. Casual give over the top. Saints pause. Oh, not for long. Akers crashed into the brick wall. Carpenny. Revolt braced himself for what was coming. Oh, Regan just pushed the head down a little bit there. And Nick did not like this. That's the Nunes incident.
In the tackle, Carpenny trying to get free, just got him in the eye.
Gaff. Savage.
Hold there, hold there.
Gee, that's a big kick. Needs to be spot on, and it is.
A lot of faith in both himself and Jake Carlisle. All ends okay. Dunstan off half-back. Didn't get the protection he needed, but he does get the kick away. Gresham holds his line.
You know, I'm watching Jack Stephen at the moment, and he was on that far wing at the stoppage, and now he's working right over. I think he needs to change his positioning in the ground and maybe work the corridor a little bit more so he can go both ways on the spread rather than being caught so far away from the ball consistently. He's keeping himself out of the play too often.
And I'm just not sure he can cover the ground the way that he normally does.
Because he's a bit sore anyway,
carrying, so you might be right, John. He's got to run a little smarter.
Exactly right.
Josh, you're up.
Jack Nunes, I think, coming off with the blood there, Moons.
Good go, guys. Here we go.
Getting some treatment from that incident before. West Coast lead by 2 points. Oh, the aggression at ball and man continues. It could easily spill over here with so much on the line. The niggle between Steele and Shuey. He's wearing him so closely.
Oh, that's a good. He's going to have a good shiner there, isn't he? Cut under the eye.
I want to get him out there quickly, though. He's been an excellent player. Ross to half forward. Membry playing in front of Schofield. Negated the first time, and then he takes care of Weller. And gets it over.
Josh, bet here.
2 goals, 1-2 straight for the quarter. 9-8 to 9-6 for the game. Petrie and Bruce. Jack Stephen tried to make the big steal. Instead, it's Mitchell tapping it away. Akers comes hard. Steele, is it straight? It'll need a really good bounce. Doesn't get that luxury. A point the difference now. Big day for Alan Richardson.
And the way the game's playing out, Hutto, it may just come down to one stray kick or one straight kick.
Saints haven't had too many close ones this year. Only a couple of games, one for 1 win and 1 loss. Which is amazing given how tight the season has been. Petrie lots off a big chunk with that kick. Mitchell, look at those hands through the middle, creating so much, so many possibilities for Hutchings. And there's the best choice. The choice kick onto the chest of Josh Kennedy.
The square up from Petrie to Mitchell, and then the lightning fast hand pass from Mitchell just released options in the corridor.
15 seconds.
The old-fashioned rocket handball from Sammy Mitchell. Span perfectly.
Span
perfectly.
Kennedy comes in, and it's wobbly. It's shaping one way and then the other. And it was the other that was the most important bit. His third goal. And the Eagles lead now 7.
starting to come into the game. There's the kick from Petrie, and look at that hand pass. Penetrating, covered 15 metres very quickly, and that enabled Marston and Hutchings to find other corridor options. And he was sorely exposed, Nathan Brown, when Kennedy's in that much space to a ball coming down quickly. He can pick his moment to lead. Virtually impossible to stop.
One in, please. Thank you.
Well, we talked about it, didn't we, at the start of the quarter? Kennedy lifted in his output. It would really help the West Coast Eagles, and he's kicked 2 goals.
Oh, that bounce stayed in the circle there. Didn't give Josh Bruce a chance to compete, but certainly stayed in the circle.
That's part of it, isn't it? They like to at least give both ruckmen an opportunity. Redden.
What if one's a bit slow, Hunter?
Good call. Mitchell goes again, and it just hangs there for Shuey. It's the Saints' turn to dig in right now. The Eagles threatening. Carpenny. Geary leads the way. Another full-body tackle, which Carpenny just took.
Thank you. This way. Thanks, Jack.
18 minutes gone in this quarter. You can still 8 and a bit to go. Saints have got an extra back in front of Josh Kennedy, back in the square.
Guys, like,
Dominate again, please.
Josh! Jack!
Kennedy in front doing the ruck. Darling in front doing the ruck work. Akers. McKenzie sees it over. So West Coast with a 7-point lead.
Drew, Josh.
Saints have had 3 more inside 50s this quarter. 1 more scoring shot, but have been outscored. Just a little hiatus here. It's been a high-energy quarter up until now. There'll be tired bodies in the last quarter. Nervous coaches.
Hey, Drew, Josh, keep that meter. Go, Lolding, play on.
Petrie, Redden. Brown nullifies. Dunstan. Webster flashing through. Close to the line, in fact, over.
So the one thing we are going to see, Jono, and that's a lot of tired players that game's in. It's been a fast game at various stages. They've just gone hammer and tong from one end to the other. And already we've seen on transition a few players caught out absolutely gasping.
And that's why the next 5 minutes maybe just slow down from both teams, just trying to get that little bit of spell in before a big last quarter for these clubs.
Cripps turns and goes. Partington waiting at the back as Kennedy and Petrie flew, but White was effective in the air.
It's been locked in here for a few minutes now.
Who's up? Jack, you up?
Desperately having to defend the Saints. They don't want a 2 or 3 goal break to open up on the scoreboard.
Akers wore one and knew exactly where to deliver the ball. Saints taking it all the way back to that last line. Robertson thumps it, and he tried to buy some time for Membry to get there, but just didn't quite buy enough. Petrie.
It's a long kick from Robertson, but it wasn't wide enough.
Nelson. Every player ahead of him as he released the kick. Shuey can't pick his way through. Jack Steele played a very solid game for the Saints. Short, they've worked their way through. From centre half back, Dunstan thumps it, puts all the faith he can in Gresham, who then gets confronted by Petrie after doing all the toil and tough work.
Having a good quarter. Yeah, Drew Petrie's having a fantastic quarter for the Eagles.
Hearn for Sheed on the counter. Tries to slot it through to Kennedy, who threw himself at the ball and couldn't quite get the balance he needed when it mattered. Akers. Weller. It's tight. Billings. Kobe Stevens. Seb Ross has pushed forward. Membry might be the target. Goes for Ross instead. Perfect. Just perfect on the Billings kick.
Super kick.
And so the Saints will continue this topsy-turvy roller coaster ride at Etihad Stadium.
Well, they got the right transition through this part of the ground again, the Saints, and they got the overlap run, which is what's worked for them throughout the entire afternoon. Weller's a little bit higher on this occasion. He's been playing deep forward for majority. You see they're over to Kobe Stevens, back to Billings, and this is the kick here. We saw one from Seb Ross to Membry in the first quarter, a low dart like that, just over the top of Marston.
10-8-68 West Coast, 10-7-67 St Kilda. Seb Ross puts it through. Just his 5th goal of the season, but a really timely one for the Saints. Gaff skies it. Eagles lead a precarious 1 point, and that's fantastic stuff. He's really such a commanding force, Dylan Robertson, and he's up and running. Always prepared to leave his man every quiet. Drives it out to the wing. Still had the faith in Revolt. Hearn coming hard the other way. A lot of respect there. And the ball out of bounds.
Billy, who else you got? West Coast?
Which horse would you rather be on at this stage?
I was just thinking that, Hutto. I don't think you can pick it all at the moment.
It's tight around the contest as well. Sinclair's reflexes were excellent, but the handball not perfect. Now, how did Mitchell get rid of that? Interesting disposal. He's been tracked here by Stephen, but elusive as ever. Duggan charging through, just got enough on the kick. Redden didn't take the mark, and then he got front on contact. Bit heavy-handed there was Kobe Stevens, as he is occasionally. Jack Redden angles the kick for Cripps. Webster, big attempt to spoil, but to no avail. Kennedy's coming. He's just held. Oh, there's a bit going on off the ball.
Should have been a free kick to Carlisle.
And he could have marked it. Marston, Schofield, rare adventure into the 50, didn't last long. Shut down, and the Saints charge. Webster wore one, knew he had to. Schofield, the chase is on from White. Did just enough to put it to his teammates' advantage. And speaking of advantage, what a beautiful kick. And straight onto the chest of Mark Lacroix. Duggan hitting the target.
Both at each other. He wants a hold, you want a block. Let it go.
That's the umpire talking to Josh Kennedy and Jake Carlisle.
So Mark Lacroix, been a wonderful goal kicker over the journey. As we mentioned earlier, over 400 goals in just less than 200 games. Pushed himself out to the right, quite got it straight. So the margin slinks back to 2. Just under 4 minutes remaining.
Stay behind him, Nathan. Stay behind the line. Stay behind the line.
Savage for Webster, a conservative part back in. There's nothing on his line of vision at all. Carlo
No, you've run through the mark.
gives him something. It was Geary that ran through the mark, so
Yep. Has to go
has to
behind
be
the mark.
reset.
Hey, Siri, time back on. Play on, no 15, play on.
That wasn't the words
No. that you want to hear.
Indians were hoping to hear. So Joyce drives it back to the wing. Punch back in by Mackenzie. Gaff trying to fire a link up with Sheed. Almost holding the man. With desperation, Duggan. Sheed, the same determination. Mackenzie, Redden. They'll get their chance. High ball. Darling. Perfectly judged by Jack Darling. And see the Eagles fans behind the goals. Delighted.
Just needed a bit of help, Jimmy Webster. Caught one out with Jack Darling. Didn't have the strength to match body on body.
Especially when Darling made early contact on him. So, well timed by Jack Darling, protect the drop zone of the footy.
Started the day strongly. 11 disposals. His 4th mark, and this for his 2nd goal. Very mechanical look, but into the post. Oh, look at Adam Simpson.
He knows how critical each kick is.
Couldn't bear to watch. Gotta be careful of coaches. We saw Leon Cameron yesterday. Nearly break his hand. Driving kick to the wing. Bruce going to get some free advantage. It was continuation, then it was fumbled. Akers does enough. Ross under severe duress though. Hearn got there to save the day for the Eagles. And his desperation continues to come to the fore. Hutchings next to take it.
The umpire called advantage because he thought the player would take it clean and away he goes. Because the player fumbles, does that bring it?
No, it's a bad fumble by Blake.
It's just a bad fumble.
I mean,
although advantage is taken.
It bounced up perfectly for him. He should have been off and running.
The answer, Jono, as always in our game is sometimes. Seb Ross fires it out the back. Awkward looking kick forward from Jimmy Webster. Schofield nullifies Bruce. The ball stayed in and smashed it another 30 or 40 metres. They'll take that. Territory contest in this last 2 minutes. A bloody Jack Newnes.
Saw him go off after getting that knock to the eye. A little bit of blood just trickling from the cut.
Just has to face the right way. The umpire doesn't seem.
Well, hopefully a trainer will get out and wipe that off very quickly.
You with a photo shoot, Jace. Maybe just show my best side. Boundary thrown in the forward pocket. Quick snap, Sinclair to the square. Schofield reaches over the top. Under pressure, Yo. But he was cool, he was calm. Gaff off the right boot. Anything could happen here. McKenzie. Nick's just got to turn around and find it. He does. Paddles it back. Geary. Set up Revolt. Release handball pretty good under the circumstances. White. Looks like a young man just still adapting the tempo, but geez, shown a lot for the Saints. Robertson, they've been forced all the way back to half-back. This is where you got to trust your skill and judgment. Darling scurrying after it. A fumble again. Invites the pressure. Webster down, up, kicks into the middle. Carlisle, will he go? Will he go? He wants to. Impetuous, but thought better of it. A minute 15. Clock counting down in this third quarter. Out to White again. Charging forward is a lovely long left foot. There's a chance for Nunes who flies. Duggan to Mitchell. Just kicked it quickly. Get me out of there kick. It's coming back though. That's the news they didn't want to hear, although Ross didn't pull the trigger. Instead he goes short for Billings. A more measured approach this time. In fact, it's Sinclair into the pocket. Oh, and he just misses Jack Stephen. And it creeps over the line and out of bounds. So we're pretty much back where we were at half-time. Tense third quarter, 3 goals to each it has produced. The Saints get one more chance though. Gaff. Akers again, not as clean as
three fumbles in a row that just kill you.
McGovern sent it Hearn's way. We know he's a big kick. And pull the trigger eventually. A high ball. Young Partington outmarked beautifully by Robertson, who saves the day for the Saints.
As he has done so often this year. He's taken 2 big marks in this quarter, Robertson, to save the Saints being scored against.
And they're just about out of gas here. Geary, will they decide to have one more last go at it? I don't think so. Close enough to the bench maybe to have got the message that in the last throws of this third quarter, and as I said at halftime, we're no closer really to knowing who will get the valuable 4 points on offer. What we do know is the West Coast lead by 3 points, and there's some very tired boys out there, but they've got to find another effort in this last quarter, which will be with you shortly. At the live ladder, here the score remains as is, and a tight win to the Eagles. They'll jump up to 7th place on the ladder.
Of course, if St Kilda win, Hutto, they both end up on 40 points, comes back to percentage, and it becomes a bigger logjam right around the edge of the 8.
It is extraordinary. Huge month of footy ahead, the 3 weeks after this. But right now, all attention is on this quarter. Billy Longer has taken on Drew Petrie all day, and they meet again in the middle. Last quarter from Etihad Stadium. Longer tapped it down, and he was straight after it again. Terrific start. Nunes, big, deep kick, but it favours Hearn. Who's going to have the energy and the effort in this last quarter? Game's already taken out so much. Hearn goes for distance and for Petrie, who was spectacular, but Webster came down with the footy. A fumble from Revolt. Can they get it sorted? No, they can't. Carpeney. Gaff. Shepherd. Carries. Handballs. Now Petrie to Gaff again. Mitchell kept on coming. Wasn't able to be contained by Sinclair. Lacroix, so they've handballed their way all the way to the middle, and then a kick. Duggan, spear. Shuey, left boot because he spotted Kennedy. He just had position on Brown that was well identified.
The great thing about that is all the other West Coast forwards led to the other side of the ground. They gave Josh Kennedy one-on-one space with Nathan Brown. Now, Brown took away the leading angle. He took front spot, but the Eagles further afield had enough time, Luke Shuey, to say, well, I'll just kick it to his advantage over the top and let him do his stuff.
3 goals to his name. A little stunner stamp. It's curling. Oh, it was holding. A game of inches indeed. 4 goals for Kennedy. And West Coast lead is back to 9.
So you get a great look at it here as we look at the forward 50 at the bottom of the screen. Everyone else clears out, and they just leave Kennedy one out to do his stuff. Now Nathan Brown takes his spot away. You've got Robertson trying to cover, but he's got to mark Darling back in the other side of the ground, and it leaves him one out, Josh Kennedy, and he's one of the best in the business.
And that's where you see Robertson. You think of Alex Rance, he'll come over and he'll make the 2-on-1 to his team's advantage. Robertson had to make that aggressive decision on that occasion.
He's pressing into Coleman as well. 3 behind Joe Danaher. Saints in full stride though through Savage. Big, deep kick, but it wanders over the boundary line and out of bounds. Now they have to lift the intensity if it's possible. McKenzie watching on there with Membry. Petrie, longer. Dunstan. And how was that all full?
It is.
An unlucky Duggan.
He read that well, took off early, knew where it was going. Luke Dunstan.
There's a left leg. There's a left foot kick. So this is the right spot for Dunstan to...
7 goals, 5 for the season. 33 goals, 30 in his career of 65 games. But his battles this year to maintain his place in the team. He's playing some good football now. He's playing some great football now.
Wow, Adam Simpson starting to heat up in the coach's box. Jacket off, get serious.
No jackets required here.
This is how it unfolds here for Dunstan. Gets the lucky break there off the leg of Duggan, out of bounds on the full.
A stroke of fortune and then a stroke of brilliance.
Wasn't it? What a response as well by the Saints.
Passion and emotion going to be a part of this last quarter as well. Using that to your advantage, part of the trick. A goal each. Stephen got right underneath that tap down. He read it beautifully, but Mitchell, with his renowned anticipation, locked on.
Just 12 possessions, Jack. Stephen, been a tough day, carrying injury, but also a close shadow in Mark Hutchings.
Longer reached over the top. It almost came together for the Saints, but not quite. Mitchell again. In a heartbeat, he stole the advantage. Sends it McGovern's way. Carlisle trying to wear him. McGovern was given an inch. Takes a mile. And handballs to Darling, who puts it through. And the Eagles get another. Brilliantly done by McGovern.
Well, that wasn't unlike what we just saw with Kennedy. It was this time McGovern one out in space. Just ply your trade one-on-one against your opponent and see if you can beat him. A good kick from Mitchell to get that sort of distance.
What about the core strength there to hold up in that contest?
And then this is just a one-on-one contest. Too good. Too quick.
Oh, Richo, he knows what's going to happen here. Well played by McGovern.
It's a frustrating game.
He could see it unfolding.
People ask why I didn't coach. There it is, right there.
Right under his nose too, that passage of play where his coach's box is situated, Alan Richardson.
Kobe Stephen, full pace, surging, Savage, goes long, goes hard, goes for Bruce, and Membry, and Gresham. Oh. Shannon Hurm, the skipper.
What a great kick.
Down the middle for Kennedy. Moon's just did enough. Shuey looking for the high one. Play on, ball dislodged. Kennedy, they've got them out the back a few times today. They're threatening again. Saints putting a couple back behind that last line. But the path is still there. Yo takes all that was on offer and kept superb composure. Lacroix, little step to make it even easier. And he makes no mistake, Mark Lacroix. Advantage West Coast. 3 goals for Mark Lacroix.
Set play here, Hutto. You look at that. They all go to one side of the ground. West Coast leave Kennedy in a marking contest. Hughes initially did really well, but West Coast getting the ball out with Kennedy keeping his feet. and away they go. They spread from the outer side and work all the way through. They had numbers out everywhere. So a set play from West Coast Eagles comes off with a great kick in here to Lacroix, who had, look how much space he had.
So 4 goals for Kennedy, 3 goals for Lacroix, 2 goals for Jack Darling. All the key goal kickers getting involved for the Eagles. There's always going to be a threat for Alan Richardson. Adam Simpson looking a lot happier now.
I think you like it when a set play comes off.
Yeah.
Jack Stephen buried underneath that Drew Petrie tackle.
Thank you. Drew, Willie, this way, get that meter.
Saints are winning it in the contested situation in this quarter, but the Eagles are getting it to the outside and doing some damage. Darling. Interesting disposal. Kobe Stevens really labouring hard in there. Kobe Stevens doing a good job for the Saints. Chip ball from Robertson. Gresham at the stand his ground. Duggan did enough. Petrie comes to lend a hand. Akers almost gave it to Stevens. Steele revised his decision and hits Sinclair.
Just got to kick the goal.
He wants to give it to Savage, who we know is a powerful kick, and he had time to get set. Bang!
I needed the quick answer, Jono. It was just starting to get to a troublesome break. You just see the spoil there from Duggan. Mitchell gets the ball, and he just gets sandwiched.
Yep.
Sandwiched between Steele and another. Now, he just didn't fancy the distance. Sinclair, he could see Savage coming. He waited, then gave him enough space, and that's a really good finish.
So again, the team behind gets the goal when they're needed, and St Kilda go again through Steele. Membry's coming hard at the back, one-on-one, becomes 2-on-1, but Bruce took the moment, got the handball to Sinclair, and Billings holds on. Oh, Membry.
Well, it's got to be 50.
50 now.
Take the mark, then you've gone. Jack!
Billings takes the mark and will kick the goal. And we're going to be back to 2 points again. This is a cracker.
Well, it just ebbs and flows. Every time it looks like one team's in control, the other fights back. It's a really good mark. He had people coming at him from all angles. Yeah, you got to pay that. Absolutely have to pay it. Not sure what Elliot Yeo was thinking. Terrific pickup.
Sinclair again. He's had some sort of game today.
Yeah, hasn't he? Josh Bruce important with the pickup, and there's the mark. Clear mark. I think they got out as far as 22 earlier in the game, West Coast, and just when it looked like they were going to break away, St Kilda fought back. The same thing's just happened again. 3-goal break, whittled away.
Longer, Mitchell. It's dislodged. Off the wing comes Gaff, as he does so often. Kicks it back for Marston. Akers looming. Won it well. Tries to fend off Nelson. Did enough. Dunstan, an initial double grab, but recovered. Weller down the line. Akers, delicate little operation. Nunes from the pocket decides to go inward. Billings, now's the time to kick it straight, Jack.
He had a bit more time and space. He actually could have run and straightened. With the pressures on, felt like he had to kick it off 1 or 2 steps.
Duggan entrusted with the kick in. Goes for the ruckman. Steele from the side. Trying to lock it away for the Saints. Petrie might give them a way out. Subtly excellent from the big fella to half forward. Big contest here. Cripps wearing in close white. Scrounging hard for the ball. And in the end, he was legged.
It's a big one-on-one contest. They're the ones you have to win under pressure.
Switches on, and Webster knows it. In the end, though, maybe it's opened up some possibilities through the middle. Webster's got to choose, and choose soon. Goes for Revolt. Hugs in another grab on the chest. And while they've got the momentum, keep on coming. Sinclair driving ball. Membry clean as you like. The big turn. Akers in the square. Instead into the pocket. Gresham's on the lead. Bit of overkill on the kick. Kept in by Akers. He ducks inside, but he was over with the chalk. Reluctantly, Blake Akers gives it back. 88 West Coast, 87 St Kilda. Longer, Petrie. Drew gets upended by Billy. And we'll have a ball up. Longer again. Quick kick. Bounces through. Steele. Saints in front. Steele's kicked his second.
Well, this is just an amazing game. It's panning out to be a cracker if you're sitting at home watching it. Momentum has ebbed and flowed. Teams answer when they look under the most pressure. And some goals kicked out of nothing. Jack Steele, that is brilliant. Right underneath the contest. He had to kick and turn off half a step, being tackled. Boy, you just cannot pick this. He had a great game, 131 ranking points, leading the way, Jack Steele.
And we're watching this centre bounce as well, whether it's bounced or thrown up. The last three have been thrown up. Now this one back to a bounce now for the umps.
Petrie got the tap down. It's over to you, West Coast. Geary, Longer, Stephen. Sheed has the outer wing to himself, but he got the cruelest of bounces. And Revolt, as always, fully committed. Wall one for the team. He's down, but the Saints are very much still in this. They've got a 5-point lead. Tapped back by Weller. Nick trying to get to his feet. Ross.
He's wobbly. He is wobbly.
Keeping him tight. Hurried kick down along the line. Playing in front. Gresham takes it in front. He's off.
They're going to get Revolt off.
Kicks to full forward. It's a powerful kick, but it's not on line.
They need to get Nick Revolt off because that's the second hit he's copped. He's very wobbly, and every time he cops a decent whack now, there's the head clash, and he is in all sorts.
The funny thing is too, Jace, it looks like he's coming off with the blood rule. Now the umpires just stopped the play. Young Webster went up to congratulate him. This gave him a roll head tap. You've got to understand whether not to touch the blood, don't hit him on the head.
Blood coming from the mouth. Courageous. Really courageous. And they needed him to halve this contest. He had to go in. He gets the back of Sheed's head flush in the mush. One thing you could never ever question with Nick Revolt was the courage at the contest, his commitment to the ball, and that was important.
And the margin is 6, so it ended up being at least a handy point. Webster to Billings. Akers again, goes long. Remember, he's got to lift or nudge. He tried the nudge. Yo batted hard the other way. Sheed just out of there, kick from Marston back to the wing. Darling and Robertson controlled him beautifully.
This is about 3 or 4 great intercept marks in this second half alone, Chev. He has been outstanding.
He has, and all these one-on-one contests are critical.
Kobe Stevens knew what was coming. And he's a tough nut as well. Into the pocket he goes. It's hard to connect with Billings. Well done, McGovern.
You've got to keep it away from this bloke, though, when you're kicking it inside 50, anywhere but near Jeremy McGovern.
That is his great expertise. He tosses this one up. Webster comes late, though. Made it hard for Redden. It's over the boundary line again.
Well played by Webster, leaving his direct opponent coming over to help out. Third man up in the air. Keeps it in there, forward half of the ground.
Glad he was wearing a mouth guard.
Low throw in. McGovern, Carpeney. Saints on either side. Akers had 26 disposals, Blake Akers, today. He's had a few fumbles and a few moments. He's done some very good things as well. Sam Mitchell playing assistant coach. Trying to get things organised. The Eagles have given up the last 3 goals. St Kilda have taken the lead. That's where it stands. A 6-point advantage. That was pretty much a throw.
Absolute throw. Umpire blindsided.
Jack Stephen gets some respite. Tough day for him, as we said, with 14 disposals. And a close watch from Hutchings. Bruce doing the ruck work against McGovern. Appears to be one-on-one in both forward lines at the moment. McGovern, Shuey made his move. Steele didn't let it go too far. Kobe Stevens been terrific for them. High ball for Akers again, entwined down there with Gaff. Off the pack, Weller came at it hard. Big tackle laid by Membry, dislodged. Akers, Saints got an extra, it hits the floor. It does, but it went Marston's way. And he's able to craft a kick to Cripps and give them some respite.
Gee, it was a good kick too. That was the only target.
Back to McKenzie. And then to Hearn. We've almost reached the midpoint of this last quarter on a freezing cold Sunday afternoon in Melbourne. With the roof shut and the Saints fans gripped with excitement and apprehension. And likewise, on the other side of the country, there's West Coast fans waiting eagerly to see if their team can come from behind. They've been in front for a lot of the day, but right now it's being played on St Kilda's terms. And Savage puts it to full forward again. Up for grab for Akers. Oh, he's taken Nelson. Was it high? It was close.
Looked high from first look. Yep, got him around the head. Should have been a free kick to Nelson.
Jeremy? Yep, really.
Longer. Gresham, Billings. And very well done. Akers will have the shot. Again, a little handoff. Savage was able to land the last one. But, gee, sometimes you just got to take the shot.
Yep.
I would have thought so.
Take the 30 seconds for starters.
Yep.
Give your teammates a bit of a spell because it's been high-paced.
They can also
take the 30.
set up.
Exactly right. Set up defensively.
And he was only 45 out.
Hearn for McGovern. And now Shepherd, still a long way from home for the West Coast Eagles. So Brad Shepherd at defensive 50. 14-11 to 13-10. It was a wobbly, unconvincing kick. Sinclair high for Bruce. They'll come. Billing stays down. At the front, the Saints are lined up. Nunes wobbles one to the square. Pressure on McKenzie. Got the fist. Gresham rode the bump. Wore it. Got the handball up for Bruce. Eagles everywhere. Hearn can't get rid of Nunes. Taken to ground. They scream ball. The umpire unmoved.
We saw a couple in the first quarter where they had no time to get rid of the ball on the boundary line and were pinged for holding it. He had plenty of time to get rid of it. No prior in some ways, but when his arms came free...
Gresham in trouble here.
Oh, McGovern up like he was taking a screamer. White. It's a White.
Jade Gresham is limping badly. Just trying to shake it off. It's just... Oh. So that knee's okay.
Nelson back to the wing. Darling flew, and the Saints won't let them pass at the moment. White to Akers, he's everywhere. Luke Dunstan to the square, he went for it. Wow. A little over-ambitious.
That's a strange kick. Yeah, needed a bit more composure there. Normally better than that.
It's that sort of game, though. Nelson. Little spot for him. Takes the 20 metres on offer, and his kick goes back to the wing.
Showing some very good signs, hasn't he, Brandon White?
And a switch.
Good switch.
Yeah, they found one all right in White. Geary. Josh Kennedy a little sore after that last contest too.
Good lead by Stevens here because they've taken McGovern out
Exactly
of
right, Jono.
that intercept mark area.
Brilliant. Spoil from Redden, though. Won his own ball and gave it to McGovern. And now they can prosper. Crisp. Kennedy running inside. And young Partington. And he flashes into the 50. The young man. And he just couldn't quite get properly aligned. And he misses to the left.
Brings it back to a one-kick game.
Crowd of 22,688, and they're all still here. White almost outmarked by Yo.
Gee, there are tired players everywhere. We're seeing more one-on-one contests all over the ground.
Nick Riewoldt had a little bit of blood on his jumper, but I think he's put a lot of dirt on it now to cover up the fact there was a little bit, so doesn't have to change that one.
Steele. Stephen, the give to Stevens. From the singular to the plural, and back again to half forward. He's ready to launch Blake Acres. Schofield. Ooh. Very subtle as he tried to make it look like he was trying to keep it in. Maybe he was. Gets it out. It's 14-11 to 13-11. The Eagles have had some tight ones this year. Saints, as I mentioned earlier, have only had 2. So the Eagles a little more experienced of late. They've won 3 of those 7 games. Saints 1-1. St. Kilda certainly dominating ground position at the moment. Jack Stephen. Push involved in a wrestle, a standoff with McKenzie. Likewise in the pocket. McGovern out to Shepherd. He just had to hurry the ball under the boot. You can see the result. Saints fans love it. Ball living in their half right now.
Plus 35 in disposals, 15-4 inside 50s in this quarter for St. Kilda.
Not a lot of cheap footy left out on that ground.
No.
Haven't really got full return, though, you'd have to say, in the last 5 or so minutes, the Saints for their dominance. And they found out last week how cruelly things can turn. And they gave up 2 goals in the last minute to go down to Port Adelaide by 2 points.
You saw that stat come up, 12-2, the clearances in this quarter in favour of St Kilda.
Seb Ross to the square. Oh, longer almost. Shuey paddles it through.
Important point.
Yeah, above a goal.
Now, they've been exploited a few times with their zone, the Saints. They've got to get it right.
Redden can't take the mark. Suddenly he's surrounded. He's got serious issues. And the Saints, Billings, doesn't want to take the shot. He's kept winning nowhere in between everyone. And now Shuey on the break. Off to McGovern, streaming forward. Goes for Darling. Robertson had him where he wanted to. Darling will fight on. Robertson looking left, looking right. Give, get back again. Pressure's still there. Robertson needs a good kick out to the wing. He's got a good man in Carlisle. At the back, it's Longer. He only has 1 kick a game, and he's already had 2 in this game, so he handballs. Back to his leader. Oh, Billy crashed to ground by Mitchell. In goes Stephen again. Yo's on the top now.
Was it a forced out in the tackle, or was it incorrect disposal from Longer? Umpire was blindsided.
So that's looking back from the Eagles' goal out back to the wing. We're at half forward where this action is taking place. What a game of football. Longer the tap, it's the Eagles' turn. Gaff off the right boot. Darling comes out. Again, Robertson gets help. Here's Brown, close to the line. Carlisle, steady short kick. Is it far enough? Just. Nunes. 5:55. You can see the tension on the St Kilda fans. As Nunes kicks it back to the wing. Josh Bruce is going to fly. Fist it to the front. Weller, Stephen. Great smother from Shuey, leaving nothing behind. And again from Petrie. The smothers that matter.
Well, that's the sort of stuff that can really inspire your team when you get a couple of leaders with some big smothers.
Another throw in. Tyler all day, the 2 ruckman. Gaff deep, but Carlisle, it's easy fodder for him.
Been lucky, last couple of stoppages, Saints have been poor. Gaff was all on his own the first one, and that time it was Luke Shuey.
What's been fortunate for him is Gaff's had to kick on the right leg.
Foot, yep.
Yeah, hasn't been able to step left.
So the lead is 7. They'll know the job is a long way from being done, but the clock starts to become something to think about very soon.
Yep.
5 minutes remaining.
Well, you take time off where you can. If they're going to give you the easy possessions, you take them.
Could have gone back to Robertson. Instead, it's down the line. Membry a good target. Schofield did as well as he could, and McKenzie knew what he was trying to do.
Now, that is a good territory win for the Saints. Long kick over the back, shuffle it out for a stoppage.
And now the Saints fans trying to do their part and urge them on. They cannot afford to go down today. They think they can still make it to September. One last chance for Nick Revolt. Geary out to Ross. Revolt's still on the sideline at the moment. He's a spectator like the rest of us. Hearn played on, was itching to get going because Gaff can kick it to Kennedy.
He'll do it all day if he's given space. Someone had to fly. There were two Saints that didn't go up against Hearn at half-back. And he played on quickly, found Gaff in the middle of the ground.
That's the difference. Gaff on the left side compared to the right.
Yep.
And with the space here, Gaff, he had Mitchell running inboard, but opted to kick because Kennedy was one out.
And the kick's just too good. Nathan Brown was right on Kennedy's hammer.
Numbers are very good from there. 4 goals, 1 for the day. It's started left. It's coming back, though. The trusty boot of Kennedy puts it through. 5 goals for the day for Josh Kennedy, and it's back to a 1-point ball game.
And that's the turnover. What about the record by Josh Kennedy from that spot on the ground? He's now kicked 43 from this spot here out of about 53 shots. That's a great kick. Just trying to get him going.
Well, the game deserves a grandstand finish. They've been at it right from the start. The ups and downs of football have been on display with so much on the line. Jack Stephen, its advantage, St Kilda to half forward. Akers and McGovern, two important players in how this game has transpired here at Etihad Stadium. Akers with 29 disposals. Adam Simpson hoping that McGovern, who's such a pivotal player for them, can hold up the tide in defence and start sending the ball forward. Longer to the front. It was a wild boot from Sheed. Jack Stephen in and under, as you'd expect. Sheed, they come for him.
St Kilda need to protect boundary side, but they also need to have some representation in the corridor, because if the West Coast get it, they've looked dangerous when they've been able to get out through corridor.
Jack Stephen, extremely tight space, centres it. Bruce!
Massive grab.
What a mark! We've seen him take higher marks. I'm not sure we've seen him take bigger marks than that. Given the circumstances, he has taken a great grab. All the pressure around, he flew from the front. Now, the most important part for Josh Bruce. The Saints lead by 1. The clock says 2 minutes 30, and from 30 metres out, the moment got very big on Josh Bruce, and it's 2 points the difference.
Exactly what it was, Hunter. The pressure of the moment, that's just a shank kick.
Down the middle goes Shannon Hearn. Big leap from Petrie. Ball up for grabs. It's there to be taken. Who wants it? Josh Bruce trying to redeem himself. Off to Stephen. Drives it into the pocket. Gresham.
Good kick.
Another thing we've seen, Jack Stephen, who's had a very quiet game, has had 11 possessions in the last quarter to take his game tally to 22. That is a massive quarter with the game on the line.
McKenzie back in the goal square as the goalkeeper. Trying to protect that goal at all costs. Petrie wrapped up by Longer. Play on the call. Nunes again. Been in the wars, but he's been around the footy as well. Patched up. Ready for action.
They've got the spare behind the ball here, St Kilda. Robertson is the spare for them.
Here's McGovern. Mitchell. They try and shut him down, but sometimes you just can't. Back to the middle. Ball there to be taken. Cripps with the up and under. In the centre of Etihad Stadium, Robertson and the surging Webster to half forward. It's a match race now at half forward. Look at Josh Bruce. He went so fast he couldn't pick up the ball. Now Duggan comes in. Left foot back to the wing. Eyes on the footy, everyone. Darling. Brown was superb. Darling kept his feet. Carpety back to Darling. Didn't kick. Wished he had have. Could have been holding the ball. Ross to half forward, and he's up, and McKenzie.
This is it now for West Coast. Have to goal off this play.
Back into the middle of the ground he goes. Under pressure, McGovern. Gresham curls the kick. Billings has him out and kicks straight all year. Now he gets his chance.
Well, they took the risk, West Coast. They had to. But Jeremy McGovern didn't realise there was another St Kilda player behind him. And then Gresham had good vision. He didn't blaze away. You can already see him looking up at the scoreboard to see the shot clock. It's down to 14 seconds.
Yep, take the full time here.
1 goal, 3 for the day. 18 goals, 29 for the year. Jack Billings, the clock down to 30 seconds. All those misses don't matter right now. The Saints are just about there. And they are still September dreaming.
Oh, some big action in the middle of the ground. And this ball here from Mackenzie, McGovern, the pressure. St Kilda with numbers. And then a smart kick from Gresham. Great passage, great last quarter from both clubs, but in particular St Kilda, what they've been able to achieve in this quarter. Has it set them up to play finals in 2017?
We set a big last quarter from Jack Stephen. Also 7 possessions, 2 goals from Billings.
Well, we know the Eagles can get it done quick, smart, but they need to be clean and get a shot away. And then, even a point, there might be a chance to get a draw. Doesn't look like it now. Gresham has stood tall. A magnificent team effort from the Saints. The hearts were broken last week, but they're restored on a Sunday afternoon at Etihad Stadium. The Saints have marched in, and they can march on if they win from here all the way. What a courageous performance. The Eagles gave it all they could, but they've fallen short. Despite some guns and some stars, another tough day on the road for Adam Simpson. So many of the Saints bloodied and bruised, but in a topsy-turvy contest, they were ahead at the end.
Oh, that was a fantastic game of football from both these footy clubs from start to finish. And in the end, it was St Kilda who dominated that last quarter. They had truckload more disposals, got the ball inside 50, and in the end it was the weight of numbers that got them over the line. Some class as well, and speaking of class,
Life
supposed to retire during the week.
Yeah, life after footy discussion going on there.
That's it.
Oh, what a game of footy, and this man was very, very crucial today, particularly at the end, Cameron Mooney.
Oh, wasn't he a superstar today, Jack? First of all, let's just go through that kick. I mean, talk about what was going through your mind there.
I just tried to remain calm. I've been kicking a lot of points, so I've been doing a fair bit of work on it during the week. And just tried to stay calm and just kick through the ball, and it was good it went through.
Mate, talking about after last week, the heartbreak of last week, you needed this one just to keep your season alive. It's a big win for the footy club.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, last week was devastating for us, that last minute and a half. But we tried to learn from it, but also take the positives of, we played really well last week. It was just that last couple of minutes, so we thought we were getting back into form. And then, I just said to Rui before, the last few rounds this year, it's elimination final every week, so we've got to win every time.
It really did feel like it was a game of momentum. Whoever had the momentum, you had to take advantage of it. You had the momentum in that last quarter, and you took that advantage.
Yeah, exactly right, and it probably sums up the whole year in the competition. It's up and down, and when you got the momentum, you just got to do as best he can with it and kick as many goals, I guess. So, yeah, it was good we were able to, I guess, run over the top in the last quarter.
Jack, it was a great game. It was a great game, mate. Well done. Congratulations.
Cheers. Thanks, mate.
You mentioned running over the top. They dominated the last two.
They did.
They really did. All the numbers. They had 50 more possessions. They had 15-6 the clearances. They had 19-8 the inside 50s. The only thing they didn't do was convert. It was 5 goals 6 to 4 goals 1, so 11 scoring shots to 5. But importantly, they did enough to get themselves over the line and keep the finals hope well and truly alive.
How tight is that?
Look at that log jam.
Oh, that is unbelievable, isn't it?
Incredible, isn't it? I mean, you would say it's going to come down to percentage for some of those positions. Yep. And obviously the Saints are a little behind in that regard.
Top 4 still up for grabs. The home final for 5 and 6 up for grabs.
Yep.
7 and 8. Oh, there's just so much still to go in this season.
Well, you'd think it's going to take 12 wins minimum to qualify, and maybe even
12 in percentage.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's get down to another man who showed amazing resolve today. He was a tackle hero, like 12 tackles, 26 disposals, Moons.
26 disposals. I think 20 of them were contested as well. It's just hard in and under. But Jack, it was a great win for the footy club. You needed that, obviously, to keep this season going.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, we went into the game sort of, you know, hoping to win the contested ball and really going hard at it. So, you know, we were able to do that and, you know, keep our season alive. So hopefully we can, you know, get a couple more wins and play finals.
This last quarter, I mean, I think they were 20-odd points up. The feeling and the belief in this young group must have been fantastic to know that this last quarter you could come over the top.
Yeah, it is. I think, you know, being in a similar position last week and even the last time we played the Eagles earlier in the year, where you just sort of made it a focus going to the last quarter to just grind and get it done, which we did. So I think we're pretty happy with the win.
Yourself, you had a lot of time on Stewie today. I mean, talk about that for a contest.
He's a bull, and I still thought he played pretty well, but I just wanted to make it a shit day for him. So I think I did that, and I was able to get a bit of the ball myself, so I was happy.
Absolutely, you did, mate. Well done. Congratulations. Go and enjoy it.
Thanks, man.
Colourful explanation.
Yeah, that's it. Plain and simple.
Yeah, we like honesty. 15-13, 103 to 14-11, 95. What a contrast in 7 days for Saints fans, or 8 days to be precise. A 2-point loss last week, one they gave away, but they stormed home to beat the Eagles, and their chances of playing finals are still alive. They win by 8 points on a great Sunday afternoon, a thriller at Etihad Stadium. Well, an exhausting day of football at Etihad Stadium. It was on right from the start, and in the end it came down to this man, Jack Billings, and that straight kick that sealed the deal for the Saints. And the passion was certainly on display from the players and the 22,000 fans that were here. And a couple of old stars. Good stuff, and Nick Revolt